Tonight, the tragic death of crocodile hunter Steve Irwin. He was filming a new documentary on dangerous sea creatures when a stingray barb struck him through the chest shortly after 11 this morning. Wife Terry reportedly learned the news in Tasmania. The Prime Minister is among those who've paid tribute to a great environmental champion. Steve Irwin was 44.
Steve Irwin was following in his parents' footsteps when he took over their Sunshine Coast Reptile Park. That's where he met Terry and fell in love. She took him back to America and they fell in love with him too. And quickly the crocodile hunter ceased to belong to us and became one of the biggest stars in the world.
Steve Irwin's family moved to Queensland from Victoria when he was a child. The move would become a defining point in his life, with Irwin's parents taking over the running of a small reptile park on the Sunshine Coast. Irwin started off as a catcher and eventually took over management.
Mate, I love them with all my heart. If I could kiss them on the lips, I would.
Thankfully, it didn't come to that. The park also became a setting for romance. He met American-born wife Terry on site. Australia Zoo, which has grown under the couple's close supervision, is now one of Queensland's most popular tourist attractions. And as it developed, so too did Steve Irwin's own notoriety.
And crikey, crocodiles are living dinosaurs and a crucial part of our ecosystem.
Films, documentaries and a larger-than-life personality came together and fame followed. Success in the US hurdled him to the top of his league. He's said to have a cult following of 500 million fans. But ever the practical joker and larrikin, Irwin's antics at times found him surrounded in controversy. The worst, the baby Bob incident, when he held his second-born child just metres from a crocodile during feeding time. Bob's older sister Bindy's also grown up in the spotlight.
I had this great, flourishing career in television and movies, and now I'm second fiddle to my 7-year-old daughter.
But family was his love, his work, his passion. He established wildlife warriors worldwide and personally injected millions into the cause. To most, his lifestyle would have been seen as dangerous, and now it's claimed his life.
He goes into a death roll, it's great. Feed the rope, let him have the rope. Keep the tension on that dude, keep it on.
But seeing him on the job, it would have been hard to imagine Steve Irwin as anything but the crocodile hunter. Amanda McClay, 10 News.
As we've reported, Steve was killed by a stingray barb through the chest near Cairns. Kathy Border is in Cairns. Kathy.
Emergency services got the call at about 20 past 11 that there'd been a tragedy at Bats Reef. The emergency services liaised with Steve Irwin's boat Croc 1, which you can see moored behind me here. They hooked up at nearby Low Island. That's where Steve Irwin was pronounced dead. His body ferried back to Cairns and police now looking after that. We flew over the reef just a short time ago. It's not picturesque, but I can tell you there are swarms of stingrays there. Some, their wingspan around 2 metres wide. They're amazing, and their tails about 1 metre long. And in the short time we were there, we probably saw about 50 of them. Now, locals tell us that this is extremely unusual for this to happen, as do experts.
This has only got to be put down as to just one of those freak situations, because he was very good at what he did.
When Croc 1 moored back here in Port Douglas, locals tell us the crew were just shattered, picked up their gear and quickly left the scene. So this is a tragedy not just for Australia but internationally. Of course, Steve Irwin, renowned around the world. The croc hunter, the man who made the word crikey famous around the world, the man who made his name battling crocodiles, cruelly killed by a stingray.